Fatherhood is your last choice. 2-4 hours to deliver your reward. When you open your eyes in the morning and you see the sun shining, go on and tell yourself it's gonna be a brighter day. A brighter day. Yes, it is. It's gonna be a brighter day. A brighter day. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a brighter day. Yes, it is. It's gonna be a
Hey, okay, everyone. We're back. I have the honor of introducing my eldest daughter and a remarkable woman who has defied all odds to become the incredible person she is today. Despite the challenges and obstacles we faced during my time away, our bond only grew stronger. She excelled academically, earning her degree and then venturing into the dynamic worlds of radio, television, and business. Her journey is a testament to the triumph of the human spirit over adversity. During my 32 years away, my daughter not only weathered the storm of life, but emerged as a pillar of strength, resilience, and accomplishment. She is not just a daughter, she is a testament to the power of determination and the unyielding human spirit. She's not just my daughter, she's my hero. So without further ado, let me proudly introduce the woman who beat the odds, conquered challenges, and became an inspiration not just to me, but to everyone who hears her story. Please join me in welcoming my daughter, Nani B. McKinney.
Let me slide on in here. Hello everybody. I'm back.
Y'all, finally, I got her now. She gonna let me ask some questions. Happy New Year's. We would like to toast to you all.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
I'm drinking all this. Yes. So we have been talking and we came up with that, I should ask some questions also because of course she also done them 32 years. And I would like to know, how did it affect her, not even as a young lady, but as the woman she is today, because she's been married 5 years now, and I want to know how that affects her marriage. And I would like to know that question more than anything, because she's super aggressive, and her husband always come to me for saving, and so
How you gonna start off? You done jump, you
for
messy.
saving.
He messy.
And I want to know why she's so aggressive like that. I know she's the eldest, but still, I think she should explain that. We're gonna make it public, and I would like to know that. I would like to know your answer to that. What did my incarceration? How did it contribute to the alpha female you are today?
Okay. See, he trying to jump right in. Number one, thank you, Dad. Like, I am so happy to be here with you, and of course, even in your absence, you've always been a good father and working with me on those things. And yes, my husband be coming and talking to him, and they be talking about me messy here. But like my dad said, he's not the only one who did the 32 years. And I told him, it was crazy to me, one of the more recent times that we went to visit him, still in Angola, because that was where the majority of his time was spent. I was there with my siblings, and as we were leaving, we were seeing other families get off those buses and bringing their kids there. What I noticed was they G'd up, read up is what I call it. Like, they're dressed to the T, hair is done, everybody's smelling good. And in that moment, my eyes started to tear up. And I just started thinking to myself, this is hurtful and this is a shame. And nobody in our community understands how you're getting dressed up and you're doing all of that to go visit someone in jail. Families ain't even doing that kind of dress up to go visit other family members for holidays. Families ain't doing that kind of dress up for anything these days. To go to someone's graduation, y'all come up in that half-ass, half-done. But when it's time to go to the prison, they turn up. My homegirl said that she graduated college, got a new job. Her family did nothing, said nothing. Her brother got out of jail or was going to jail. Wasn't getting out, was going to jail. They did a whole big party for him. So it's like our community has to pay attention to things like that. But as far as like my father here, I gotta give him a shout out because this is a testament to a lot of you daddies about to be mad at me. But it's a new year, it's a new you, and you can really change some things from hearing this. But when people think about, oh, your dad's been in jail 32 years, they look at it as, oh, that's a fatherless child. Oh, that's a woman grew up without a dad. She probably crazy, be twerking all on cars at the red light. I do. But that ain't had nothing to do with him, because his whole time in jail, he would always keep a open line of communication with his children, especially with me. So I would always make it a point to call my dad. We would be going visit. Initially, starting off as kids, like just how I told you how I saw the kids coming to the jail all dressed up, they would take us like every other weekend. Or we would definitely go a lot in the summertime when your mom would come and get us. But my father was always there, even though he was in jail. Like I said, the letters, the phone calls, the visits, it was basically like how parents today co-parent. It was basically today like how you may have an active father that just doesn't live in the house. We would just have to go to his house. And I feel like that's a great testament to being a father, because you have men who are free right now today don't do half of that with their kids. You know, and with you being incarcerated, one of the biggest things that I can say, because everybody try to say, oh, my family crazy, they don't be getting, and many people's families do have those things. Everybody's family have a little something, but to see our family kind of like rally around each other to help while you were away, it was really amazing. It was extra tough because not only were you incarcerated, but then our mom, the oldest children's mom, had a drug problem. So while our mom had succumbed to the crack epidemic of New Orleans or in the 80s or whatnot, you were incarcerated for whatever role that you had played in over time, and then again because of the stories told by Lynn Davis. But during that time, we lived with my mom's parents, my maternal grandparents, throughout the year, and every summer, my paternal grandparents would come and get us, and we would be in Houma, Louisiana for the whole summer. I gotta shout them out again. They be acting like we don't give them no love. So, and I feel like that was popular during that time. The grandparents stepping in and taking over. Because right now, my generation is going off. They're really, really pissed off. Like, oh, the parents don't help no more. I called my mama. She told me, oh, figure it out, you know. She ain't trying to have no kids over there. These grandparents are having to work. These grandparents are still some of the mamas that was, oh, mama got to have a life too. And they're just not what the grandparents were back in the day. And not saying necessarily that they should be, because you're supposed to raise your children right so that you can enjoy your grandkids. But if you don't raise your children right, then you got to raise your grandkids. You know, there is no enjoyment for you. And like you say, sometimes you may have some good parents and the kids are just led astray. Like your dad taught you some amazing principles and concepts, and you found different avenues to apply that to still become successful, because what success leaves clues. So all of those principles, they will work with anything. You just trying to keep them, you know, stay on the right track. But as far as to answer that question about how it was just having a father that was incarcerated, I don't know anything outside of that. Like as far as like people having fathers that live in the home with them, I didn't even get a chance to see that a lot growing up, you know. I saw your mom and dad, and I saw my mom's mom and dad, but as far as like children growing up with me, I really don't remember seeing their moms and dads. I think a lot of them were also being raised by family members, and it could be just because of the drug surge of that time. So every blue moon you might see somebody's dad out with them. Like I really remember even in high school we had like a father-daughter dance or something, like a Father's Day thing that everyone was doing. And at the time when you was married to Yolanda, I got her brother-in-law to come to the school with me. So little stuff like that, but that was like few and far in between, right? And I even wrote my dad a poem about it called The Missing Piece. I wish I could spit it off the dome right now, but I don't remember the whole thing off the top. But I really do feel like you did a great job from where you were with what you had. Like, of course, sometimes we would feel a little bit lonely because we didn't have either of you. We just had the grandparents, but for the most part, I really didn't feel left out or at a disadvantage when it came down to just having people there. So I appreciated those role models.
Okay, so far as the PTSD with Ken, her husband, Kenneth McKinney, what's going on?
Okay, so my
She's gonna answer the
father.
question now.
So my father, not only did he teach me a lot of valuable things, like he's always been a writer. I called out his books and whatnot. I'm also a writer. The 40 Acres in the Mill book series, the first one is Things I Learned from White Folks. The second one is Burn After Reading, which is Black history. Everything we learn about history, they say that's the white folks, that's his story. But everything that's like mysterious, the mystery is my story, our story. So I talk in that book about a lot of the mysteries and conspiracies surrounding Black history. And the third one is gonna be 40 Acres in the Mill, the new Black standard. So I'm giving you guys the tips that my father has given me so we can lead back up to what he's asking me about my husband. So he would always talk to me not only about being a nice young lady or growing up to be a woman who has beat the odds. Like I finished college and I went on to work in the entertainment industry. He was there the whole way pushing me. But when it came down to love and relationships, it was just tough. Right now, today, he is our counselor, our peer mediator, and different things like that. But he can tell you right now, I never had a lot of stories about boys. It was always the same guy for a long time. And then after that, I ended up just casually dating a little bit until I got married. So, but during that time, when I would have problems with my first love, I would often talk to my dad about it. And I just felt like he was horrible. My dad was horrible with that kind of advice, like with the relationships. I didn't like it. And the reason why I used to get mad is because my mom got 4 kids for him. Some way, somehow, in the midst of that, we got 2 other brothers. One of them 4 months, born 4 months after me. We ghetto twins. So it's like, how you gonna tell me anything? I just used to be getting upset about it. Then there was a whole nother woman, the one that got away. They back together now. It was just too much going on. It was too many women. Then when we talked about the people that was holding him down in jail, it was more women there doing that. I'm talking about these women coming to the jail. They passing each other, leaving the jail. Or one ain't been there that long, the other one coming in and he's sitting there rubbing on one of them, and the other one show up, now she ready to fight. It was just things like that. So it's like, even though I felt like my dad could give me some real pointers from, a father perspective, when it came down to the male perspective, I just felt like all y'all was the dog pound. Him, my cousins, my uncles, my grandpa, and I really didn't like that, right? But hindsight being 2020, even though they had their own things going on in their relationships that I didn't like, and I used to be like, they can't tell me shit, you know what I'm saying? He has always tried to talk to me about rising above and dealing with love and relationships in the proper way, toning down the masculinity and being more feminine. But I can't say that
You haven't done it
I
yet.
have done, yeah. And I listen to, about 95% of the things that this man say, I follow through on it. But that, I feel it has been the hardest thing. And I'm going to go ahead and break that down, because we live in a world today that's always trying to come for the women and calling us masculine and all those things like that. But what other choice did we have, Daddy? Like, back in the day when our grandparents was coming up, obviously, you had some situations where the man was the head of household. He was working. He'll come home and give the check to the woman. Bring that back. But then it went on to the dismantling of the families, and the drugs and the breakdown of the community and everything. So you saw, like I said, a lot of grandparents had to step up. But then aside from the grandparents, those mothers that were there and available, they had to step up, right? Mm-hmm. Even with my mom being in and out of rehab, once she finally, shouts out to her, because she did beat that, what I'm saying, and a lot of people don't. She did beat her addiction, and she came out on the other side. but she came out in the aftermath of it all. It's not like you were there with the bags full of money and the Jaguars and the ranch and all of that. Like, it's not like you were there anymore. Like, she had to figure it out. She had to go to school. She went and got her trade to do welding. She worked at Amazon like when they first started. And I was so mad how she didn't get stock options. Like, she had to go out and really get it out the mud. So in that's what we saw, you know? Her not really being able to depend on anybody. And I know that was also something that you would often talk to me about. Like, you saw women fall to chasing a bag with these men or chasing a lifestyle with a man. You would always tell me these cautionary tales about it. So with that being said, that kind of put me on my own track. Like, look, you gotta get it. You gotta get out here and get it. Like, your mom, she's trying the best that she can, cause she was suffering with mental illness problems even before she fell to the drugs. So it's like, it was kind of left on me. Like, once we left from the grandparents and that whole stage of our life was gone, it kind of fell on me because she's the mom and I'm like co-captain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
at the
definitely.
times that we did live with her. So I guess that would have created a more masculine role, because if she's the mom, then who am I? The dad? You know, I think that's something that we don't think about. Like, I had to go out there and get 2 and 3 jobs. I had to go out there and make sure that I could also help provide for my siblings. And I think in that, we're just thinking that we're independent women. You know, we just thinking that we're doing what we gotta do. But we're not realizing how that's hardening us in a lot of ways. Like, I was even talking to somebody recently, like, what do you mean? Just because I'm going out here and I'm doing my thing, you know, pop your collar and get into the money, how does that make me masculine? And my homeboy was like, that's literally what masculinity is. Going out there and being a provider and getting the money and the bravado and being braggadocious about it. That's basically what we have always known from masculinity. And that's why when women are doing it, they get a bad rep. And I have a good analogy for that if anybody want to hear it. So ladies, I'll give you this tip right here. You guys know Oprah, right? Like, Oprah, you don't see her in the news with no problems. She got her man Stedman. He live in the guest house. No, that's what everybody always joke. I don't know, joke. And she's quiet. She's seen, she's not heard unless it's about business. And she's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Men want us, if we're gonna be out here and we're gonna be growing, we're gonna be on our, you know, on our get money-ish, they want us to be more like Oprah, right? But women today, when we get money, we don't want to be Oprah. We want to be Big Beach. We want to be Larry Hoover. You understand what I'm saying? We don't want to be, and today on blah, blah, blah. No, we want to be in a club. We want to be with the money that you know what I'm saying? We have to stop doing that, right? But it's going to take time. That didn't come about with women overnight. You know, that didn't just start. That was something that was 2 and 3 decades in the making. So I think a lot of times my husband catches the brunt of that, especially because he is such a traditional man. And I am probably one of the most unconventional type of wives that you will ever meet. So I do appreciate you being there for us and being able to counsel us at times. And just to always remind me of just remaining as a nice feminine woman where I can. Take my cloak off, take my cape off.
Yeah, because you could be a strong black woman and all that and not be manly. You can still get your money and not,
I don't feel manly
and not
at
be
all.
so aggressive. So, okay, as a young, no, I'm gonna say about 10 years old, I think that's when I started noticing how aggressive you were and how introspective, how methodical you were. You was a strategist at 10. Because I remember one time you came visited and you was like, Dad, I got $82.23. I said, yeah. I said, dang, that's a lot of money. I said, what's going on with that? She said, well, somebody said you need $25,000 to get out, and I ain't bought no honey buns or nothing. I'm gonna get that $25,000. That's the only time I ever cried in jail.
Yeah.
Broke me down.
Man.
I'm not eating honey buns or nothing, Dad, because she loved honey buns. She said, I'm not eating honey. That girl had said to me.
Man, you know what's crazy about that? I feel like, because I've been paying bills since like 12. So that's crazy. But people would always give me like money throughout the holidays or birthdays or, those that were, trying to hold you down, they would always help. And I would just save it. Still to this day, I always say I can make a dollar holler. I squeeze a dollar so tight, George Washington jump off that bitch, jump out the window. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that I got from just our overall experience. Like, my grandparents, my mom's parents kind of raised me. My mom would always talk about, like, the rainy day, having something put away. Anything could happen. Things could change in your life, obviously, because they had seen it. Like, nobody could have foretold what was going to happen in the story, but we had to pick up the pieces from where we were. And so everybody kind of pitched in with that. So for me, that's also what kind of have me being the ultimate hustler right now today. Like, you guys, trucking companies, stock market, selling books, you name it, okay? Wolves on Black Wall Street, that's my stock course if any one of y'all want to get into stocks and crypto, because I made some good money with that since 2020. I'm just gonna let y'all know. But just hearing about who you were, I knew I couldn't technically do it from the street standpoint. Well, I didn't have the nerve. I didn't have the nerve to do it. I know there's some women out there, Griselda Blanco, they are not playing. Like, these women out here treacherous, they gonna get to it. They harder than some of these men in the streets. But that was never my thing. But with everything else that I did, like, I approached it with the same passion and the same hustle as somebody would in the streets, And another thing, this is a note that I need everybody who sitting in jail, anybody that's out here living the type of life that could lead you to go to jail, I just need you guys to also understand this. I am successful. You know how people say in spite of, you can be successful in spite of something, but I'm more successful out of spite. And I'm going to break that down for you. With my father being gone and my mom being gone, and they were like so this and so that, and it was all this money and these cars and these houses, and your family members working for them, getting paid for that, and working their businesses and things like that. Unfortunately, a lot of people wanted to see them fall. And this is something to this day that my daddy still refuses to believe. My mama know it, because she'll tell anybody, F them and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people was hating on them. A lot of people was jealous of them. A lot of people wanted to see them fall. So the demise, the ruin, everything that happened, the kids got a chance to kind of like see people smirk and laugh about it. And for me, that was very heartbreaking, but I feel like it turned me into a monster when it came down to this business and to being successful, because at that point I felt like I had something to prove. Not in the same way that sometimes my brothers would be led astray because they felt like they had something to prove to live up to your street name and your street hype and the legends surrounding you. But more so with me feeling like, okay, y'all saw what happened to my parents, so y'all excited, but I'm going to boss up on every last one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to show you how they offspring going to make you feel small, obviously, just like they did, So it really took me... It took me, I guess, a long time to finally realize that you're super successful, girl. Yes, you've done the trucking. You have the trucking company. Like I said, I'm an author of the book series, 40 Acres in the Mill. I have 2 already published. Doing the stocks, having the stock course, Wolves on Black Wall Street, buying property. We've gone into real estate, doing some things together. It took for me to just sit down and kind of be like, you've done so much and you still have your moments of not feeling like you've done enough or not feeling like you're happy. And it's like, why is that? Because it wasn't necessarily anything that I felt like I just wanted to do. It's something I felt like I had to do. And not only did I have to do it to keep my family afloat and to make sure we didn't go without, but I also had to do it because I had to stun on you who was hating. And I stun on you again. So at the end of the day, it's like my dad got out after 32 years. In 1 year, he overhauled his whole life and is doing amazing, way better than people who've been free 32 years. My mom had her drug problem for 17 years. She got off them drugs a year later. Her whole life turned around. So that whole thing about your whole life can change in a year is so true, and it's so crazy how it could be good or bad, but because I got a chance to see those things and hear some of those nasty things that people said, I was gonna stun on everybody. So yeah, I was successful in spite of, and I'm also successful out of spite. And when they see me, they can't take it.
Okay, let's talk about the perception more than anything. I noticed you was talking about how the family members looked at everything. So how did the outside people, or what was your experience with the perception of you being there with a dad in jail, even a mom on crack at the time? But most importantly, we'll just talk about me, and that way we'll,
Yeah.
So I would like to know, what did you experience as a child dealing with your father being in jail, and how did that affect you?
You know what? When my dad came home, I made a joke to him. I was like, I'm so happy you home. Now I don't have to tell people you work offshore no more. Look, cheers.
Can't take her nowhere. So, anyway.
Tee-hee-hee. I feel like, I don't know, we grew up in a household where they didn't want you telling our business anyway. They didn't want people knowing it. Now everybody in the whole city of Houma know, because legendary tales, you know what I'm saying? And obviously people in New Orleans knew because that's where it happened at. But the kids that was growing up under me, if their family was even remotely close to the street stuff, then they knew about you. And they looked at me like up here, like street royalty type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Just like when LeBron had a child, you know, and all those things, like it was like that. So other people, you have some people who probably have thought less of me when they have found out, like, oh, I would have never imagined that. But everything that I had brought to the table was always had people like, there's no way I would have ever thought that you grew up without your parents. Your mom had a drug problem, your dad was in jail. Like, how did you become these things? The pain, the hate, all those things fueled my fire. Not to say that there was no love in the house, but, you know, there was abuse there, you know?
Yeah.
There was poverty there as well. Those were the things that pushed me, you know? Those were the things that created such strong willpower. And then again, you and my mom, like, it ain't like y'all was just a bunch of deadheads. Like, you know, people you done went to school with, like, you already knew it wasn't gonna be the best story. But with you and my mom, like, the things that happened to you guys, people were blown away. They would never thought it would happen to you two guys because you had so much going on, you know? But again, like I say, they don't know the behind the scenes. They don't know what's happening in the house. They don't know the mental illness. They don't know any of the underlying issues that could have led you astray. So when it came down to me, like I say, I didn't really tell people a lot of my business, but you had those who looked at it as street royalty, treated us legendary. You know, we were the golden children. That's what was causing a lot of hate in the family. And then you also had some people who were just shocked because they just would have never ever imagined what they would, like you say, someone like me or someone like you, that would be your behind the scenes and your backstory. But it made me stronger, okay? And he's back from offshore after 32 years.
That is so crazy. That is so crazy.
So I have something that I want to ask you.
Okay, what is it?
So when you guys are locked up and stuff, I know we talked about Christmas and how everybody want to go home. Did you guys used to set like New Year's resolutions? I know y'all in jail, but did y'all feel like it was things y'all could have got better at or changed?
Yeah, most of the time we're like, I'm gonna fight harder this year. I'm gonna go in the law library. I'm gonna read every case and every book in there. We're gonna find that, because you always feel there's a case somewhere.
Loophole or a precedent.
But it doesn't matter with the courts. I swear to God, you look at them, read them cases. Like, how didn't let this guy go?
Yeah.
You got another guy in jail. The DNA match him.
Yeah.
And you're not letting him out because you're saying that it's untimely.
Yes.
But he didn't know.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you know, it's just, it's unbelievable. The legalities, the legal perspective on it. It's a no-win situation. It is breathtaking. It's horrific how the courts treat the litigants, especially pro se, the guys that are filing themselves, that can't afford attorneys, or just refuse to give another attorney any more money.
Yes.
And I kept the receipts. I wish I would have kept them. So when I got out, I threw them away. It was like I was like up to $88,000.
Wow.
That I kept.
Yes.
Those are not, that's not all of it. So and I'm like, all them years, and I'm talking about, and I end up representing myself, and I'm like, I got more done representing myself in 2 hearings than all of them put together, and that's not being braggadocio or anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because you could look at the transcripts. They were pushing this back. I went 22 years without a ruling on my first post. Normally when you send it in, on average the person take 8 months. The judge gonna write you back, you're denied. You're guaranteed to be denied, right? It was 22 years I'm like, look, deny it. Just deny it.
Yeah,
I'm going to go
yeah.
to the next court.
Instead of
eight
not
other
saying
courts.
anything, right?
there's
You're
8
just
other
keeping
courts
me
I can go
here,
to. Any one of them
right?
can let you go.
Yes.
So, and I've got several letters back talking about, you don't tell me how to run my court. No, deny it. For real. Let me get from around you. I don't know what's going on. Just deny it. Let me go to the next court. See what, because for one, he's a district court judge, so you're just one judge.
Yeah.
The next one's going to be 3. The next one's going to be 7. And then we're going to crank it back up, come back all the way up to the U.S. Supreme with 9.
Yes.
Any one of them could let you go. But if I'm sitting here, you waiting on me to die.
Yeah.
And so it's the system is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can't wait. It's stacked against you. I'm like 99.9% you're going to get denied.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to look at your case in a light more advantageous to the prosecutor. That's not the exact wording, but it's like 90% there. And no matter what it is and what the prosecutor do, he's going to get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he brought up like representing himself, because this man want to talk about me and the way I act. I actually got a chance to see him represent himself in court. Like, just sit his lawyer down, like, what the you doing? I'm gonna just get up here and I'm gonna represent myself. And that right there was like eye-opening moment, like being a young adult seeing
Yeah, it was
that,
2
like,
hearings, 6 people, and yeah, you got to I'm gonna have to do something with that.
yeah,
'Cause I
the
questioned
movie
4
is
one
coming.
day, and I questioned 2 another day. I slaughtered them.
It was
slaughtered
so
them
good.
so bad until they doctored on the transcripts. They refused to give me the transcripts. I went to the feds. They wouldn't answer it till I got out. Look, it's mute now
Yes.
because you're out.
Yes.
That's unbelievable. So I can't get it.
Man, New Year's
It's unbelievable.
resolution. Somebody out there, anybody, help us
Yeah,
get
we
them
need to get them
transcripts from the court.
transcripts. They doctored
Okay.
on them. It's just crazy. It's
Okay.
crazy.
So, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
No, at this point, no, I'm gonna come up with some later on. I just want to be a better person. I want to spend more time with my children, do what I can with those. Because of course, after being gone that long, we have some strained relationships here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is honky glory and all this here, but there's some underlying stuff there.
Oh, yeah. No, most
And so,
definitely.
yeah, we need to get this out. Like you'll curse me out when you get ready. And we'll be like, all right, Dad, I love you. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. I'm talking about like unbelievable.
That's our
Hour and a half, cursing me out. I said, well, all right, boo, I love you. Call you. All right, then I'm gonna call you tomorrow, okay? Like, what the hell just happened?
Get it out, get it on the flow,
Seriously.
and just.
She's been doing it 30 years, I promise you.
Child. So, well, my New Year's resolutions, I really want to make sure that I'm continuing to stick to being more health conscious, because I did the 75-day hard, the 75 hard. So for 75
You
days,
stuck with it.
I didn't smoke any marijuana. I drank a gallon of water a day. I worked out twice. One was mandatory outside, and I had to read 10 pages of a book a day. And I feel like that should be everyone's actual lifestyle, because it was so transformative
Year
for
round?
me. Yeah, year round. I mean, or pick a quarter. It's 4 quarters out the year. Do the first and the third quarter of the year, or the first and the last one. So it's pushing you, or whatnot. But normally at the top of the year, we would always do like Daniel fast and things of that nature. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting back into that, and meditation or whatnot. Yoga. Look, you guys, you got to check this out. I have my dad doing yoga with me now. Tell us what you think.
I think it's wonderful. It's strenuous, holding them poses for long. It's kind of feminine to me, but yeah.
I got a video.
I'm working with it.
Y'all watch us. You end with something called the child's pose. It looks like you're going down into prayer. So that would be this one. Sometimes I get down like that and I pray, right? But you can go from your prayer, your child's pose, into cobra, and then back into downward facing dog. Let me show you. Okay, so you're going from here to here to here.
So there's 3 poses in one.
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start from here. Then we're gonna stretch our body to cobra. Feet and legs, yes. That part up, yep. And now we're gonna put that down and go back. Push up. Yes.
So do you count?
We did
Are you counting like
Yes.
15, 20?
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like you did okay with the yoga. You were struggling a little bit, but you did do good.
I used to always see the Chinese and everybody. They was doing it on television. They have their workers doing it before work. So it has to be something there for a whole industry or a whole country to say, look, you need to do. Everyone needs to do yoga before they come to work.
So you never seen like the yoga and meditation fad or trend get popular in jail?
Oh no. They'll
Well,
jog all
everybody
day.
turned Muslim, so something going on.
They'll jog all day. They'll pump iron more than anything.
Okay,
Just in
okay.
case they gotta punch somebody in the face and break everything.
Yes.
So but no yoga. You might have 4 people like I've seen, standing do the poses and all this kind of stuff.
So you would
And
try it
doesn't
again?
last long. Oh yeah,
like it?
definitely.
Okay. I think that we can make this our
Immediately,
thing.
The benefits are you can definitely tell that things are working in your life.
Okay, make sure y'all get that CMOS gel and everything, because we got to make sure that we're doing that every day coming up in this year. So, last but most certainly not least, make sure that you guys set resolutions to do more things with your family, especially wealth building and legacy building type things, because I know my father and my dad and me, have been going around the city of New Orleans looking at new properties to invest in and just kind of like build the city up a lot more. So check it out. So you starting to recognize your old stomping ground?
Yeah, I'm kind of emotional right now looking at the Desire Housing Project. Because that's where I was really doing a lot of my wrongness.
Yeah.
And looking at what it can be or what it has grown to be. And I should have been a part of that side of the Desire Housing Project. I don't know, they renamed it? No, they left it.
Let's see. We're gonna see what they calling it now.
Yeah, but the only thing I see that's really kind of crazy is that look, it appears to me that they done priced everybody out the market. I hear they selling them, that they're not renting them or whatever. I'm not sure what happened. When I hear so many stories, I'm going to have to research it.
I hear so many stories as well. Like, I heard this story one time that New Orleans, the Lower Ninth Ward, was flooded out in the 1920s as well. Like, anytime they get ready to gentrify or to do something different with the city, they start with the flooding over in that area. I also heard that the New Orleans public housing projects, they actually had a 30-year contract, mortgage deed, contract with the city to allow them to use the land all across the city for public housing, for projects and different things like that. Like Jay-Z say, projects is just that, a project, an experiment, So after the 30 years was up, how else can they get their property back besides what they did? You know what I'm saying? Flood everybody out and then price everybody out. Like, that was the game plan.
Yeah, definitely.
Right there, man. Get you from that angle.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's
Right there. There are still many vacant lots and homes across New Orleans, especially in the Lower Ninth Ward, which was impacted the hardest. If you are a local, now is the time to get in, because many out-of-town investment groups are swarming to the city. Buy back the block and keep the culture alive. Oh yeah, Dad. Okay, so obviously, how many you think we're going to add to the portfolio this year?
Ambitiously 5.
Okay.
And that's with us doing everything that we're doing today and just fitting that in, because we haven't went full time or anything. But I think we're gonna get to that in like a 3-year period.
Okay.
Where we look, this real estate thing, we got to go with it. It's the new drug game. Let's go with it.
Yes.
So I believe our goal should be 5.
Okay. That's
and I
good.
think you're more ambitious than me in that area, because you'd be like, let's go to auctions, let's go find all these blighted properties. We're gonna call all the owners. We're gonna get these numbers. Call City Hall. I'm talking about she be on it.
Yes.
I think you have some footage with us when you bought the first one in home at that time. Yeah, but so I think 5 would definitely be ambitious, and because that's really digging in deep, making sure nothing is wrong, everything is above board, Because, you know, people do anything these days. And I think 5 will work.
Okay. Well, our time has come, but we will be back. Again, Happy New Year to you and yours. Set some great resolutions for you guys to get better and even stronger. Okay? And remember, this is just us. We're Nani B. McKinney and
Sherman Singleton.
we love you. We'll talk to you soon.